Hello, humans.
Oh my God. Bender is up to version 58 now. All right, so this time around I worked on some of the electronics as well as trying to figure out where to put the speaker. So let's look at the electronics. First thing that we need is the brain. The brain is going to be the Adafruit Feather 32U4 Basic Proto. Very nice little Arduino clone. It has battery charging built into it, which is nice. So that way I can have Bender unplugged and he can still use profanity and piss people off. The next thing is the music maker. This goes right on top of the feather. So I guess you'd call this a feather wing. It's got an amplifier. It can decode different music files. It's 3-watt amplifier, all in this little tiny package. I can stick my SD card in there with all my sounds. Makes it really easy, very compact. Very nice Adafruit. So the next thing is the speakers. Had a hard time with that. The first set of speakers I bought were these speakers from Adafruit, a couple of small 3-watt speakers. They are not very loud and they don't sound very good. Not sure what project this might be suitable for. For the size, I mean, they're not really tiny, but they're small. I kind of expected them to sound a little bit better than they did. So I got these. Maybe I'll use them for another project some other time. So the next thing I went to was some speakers I already had laying around. This was for my BB-8 project that just ended up costing too much money. And I have a pair of these 4-inch 3-way speakers. This ended up being loud enough and it worked with the amplifier, but I think it's a little bit too big and it doesn't quite fit inside Bender's body. So I went looking for something about like this and I found this speaker right here. About $16 and it's 15 watts, 3 inches. This fits pretty well. This is what I went with and it's loud enough. A nice thing about the pictures here on Amazon, they have the sizes, which was really nice because I went here in Fusion 360 and I made a mock-up of the speaker before I ordered it so I could see, does this really fit inside Bender? And I've been doing this a lot just to make sure I know things fit. It's easier to figure that out if you actually have it in 3D form to play with. And I did this before I ordered it. When I got it in, I measured the speaker with a caliper and somehow I managed to make this mock-up almost perfectly exactly like the real thing without having it in my hand. So we go over to Bender. We'll look at some of the changes I've made to Bender, other than his arm is out like he's supposed to be holding a beer. I might make him a beer later. He doesn't have one yet. He also needs a cigar. But for now, worrying about his electronics. So I'm going to take away his door. Where's his door? There's his door. No more door. Well, as you can see with the door, I also put a placement for a magnet so the door will stay in place. And inside there, you can see I've got a place for the Adafruit feather and feather wing. I made a little mount for it so I can screw in. So if I ever have to replace the part, I can pull it out, maybe. And also there's a couple of holes here for the buttons. The buttons I'm going to use is first this one for the power button. It's an on-off button with a green LED. Hopefully it'll light up enough with only 3 volts power. That's all my feather gives out. I've also ordered one of these. I don't have it yet. This is going to be the button to cause the sound effects. And it's going to have a white LED. I was going to do a small momentary button, but couldn't figure out where I was going to put it on Bender's body. So I ended up doing this instead, because this will mount quite easily. No circuit board necessary. And you can see it's got the 2 holes there for the buttons and also a place for the USB so I can charge them up. Also, you can see the speakers in there and his upper body. It mounts just under the shoulder portion. Let me take that away. You can see it mounts right there. I've got bolt holes. For the speaker, hopefully it'll sound okay, stuffed inside Bender's neck. We'll find out after I print it and put the speaker in. It might be a little while. I think this body is going to take quite a bit of time to print. As far as the mount for the feather, as you can see, I kind of made a mock-up there, like I said before. And I'm going to show you how I was able to get some nuts to go inside my mount, so that way I have some metal threads to work with. I'll show you that right now.
Prepare for the stereophonic.
I'm setting the temperature to 400 degrees Celsius. Why? Because I'm in a hurry. I know this plastic melts at about 240.
New York City! Don't worry about it. Do the robot, baby!
Now I have my nuts embedded, so the screws will go in. I will point out that these don't hold extremely well, so maybe a little bit of glue would help. I promise that's the last time I say the word nuts. Bender audio test 1. Let's see what happens.
Hello? I'm Bender. Bodies are for hookers and fat people. Got it.
Oh, that's not nice.
Peasants.
Prepare.
Well, that's it for now. I've been doing a lot of printing lately, so the next video I'm going to show you some of the actual 3D printed parts for Bender. But until then, I'm moving right now, so it might take a little while to get the next video out again. Sorry for the delay, but I'm determined to finish this project. Please subscribe and like my video, and see you next time.